today, guys. Good job, everyone.
Oh man,
everyone was on it.
That just doesn't get old.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, maybe we should say orange soda. Like, and really lean into the whole like Coolio thing.
You're just trying to make that a thread through these episodes, and nobody notices because nobody cares.
I know. Well, me and Tanaka care.
We care. Yeah.
Now, Steve's back. You feeling better, Steez?
I'm feeling better. Yeah.
That's
It was a rough few days. Yeah.
Rough few days, but it couldn't have been COVID, which is good news.
No COVID here. Mum and Dad COVID, but not here, so that was good. Yeah.
You know, the last cold we had was worse, so.
Yeah.
If you're watching us on Instagram, come over to YouTube. The link is pinned there. That's where it's happening. It's not happening here. You're just going to see nothing. So yeah. Anybody that's following us over here on YouTube, make sure you drop us a comment, say hello, tell us where you're coming from so we can interact with you. Hello, live and uncorked. I want to hear that Toy Tank song multiple times throughout the stream.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, you will.
Don't worry, we can do that. We just have to have them keep dropping in and out.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
We have a new song that we're coming up with for future episodes.
We don't have a graphic yet, but it's going to be a good.
It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one.
I see we still have fruit flies. That's good.
Yeah.
We're good without them.
I'm going to King Kong that shit. Fucking.
Yeah, like, tell me about your toys.
Yeah.
So what's new since Tuesday?
Yeah, this is our first time that we did. Well,
2 in a week.
Cece's new.
Cece's new.
Back.
What's new, Cece? Apart from being sick, has anything else happened in the past week?
No. It's been Halloween. Halloween was fun. Yeah.
The pumpkin show was awesome.
Pumpkin show.
Yeah.
I've got a wobbly tooth.
Oh, shit.
Cece's got a loose crown, and I was trying to talk him into popping it out with a butter knife during this episode.
Oh my god, do it, dude.
That's not the vibe of this podcast.
I'm looking forward to seeing it though, because I reckon that's a bit of gold I could sell there. Like, you know?
Yeah.
A real pirate.
You're not gonna have them reattach it.
You could wear it around your neck.
That would actually be a cool necklace, or you could wear it as an earring, Susie.
I could put it in a toy, in a custom.
There you go. Wow. And then you'd have to sell it for like all the money.
Yeah, you'd have to sell it for a lot of money.
Like the ultimate custom.
You could also paint it with blood.
Yeah, I could go that way. Get really dark.
You don't like that idea, Susie?
I just want to whip it out, man. It's like it's so wobbly. Like it's like I can even twist it, but it won't come out.
Yo, did you bite something or what happened? How'd it get loose?
It's been happening. It's a crappy tooth. I've had trouble with it for like 3 years.
Oh man.
And I got it filled about 10, 15 years ago, and it's basically just a really thin shell of tooth filled with gold. So
So it's not like we're not going to go down this whole.
It's not even a crown. It is just like a really flimsy shell of tooth like that, and the whole thing's gold.
That's weird. They fill it with gold.
Do I just want to get it out to
look at Nervous Wreck? Thanks for coming back, joining us.
Yeah, Nervous Wreck. Thank you so much for sticking with us
and being on the show. We appreciate it.
Through all the internet issues.
Sorry, I missed you.
Yeah, you have to come back.
Yeah, I think Susie felt shame
for
not being here.
I felt bad. But
That's okay.
What can you do? If you're not well, you're not well.
Exactly.
I'm not blaming myself to employers, so fuck this. I wasn't well honest.
How are you, Alex?
Yo, I'm good. Since Tuesday, my balls are only getting better, so
This is good news. Do you still sit on peas or?
No. Yo, peas. And I went with the Brussels sprouts. I went for something a little bit more robust than the peas. The peas are a little bit too small for these fucking gonads. So I was going with the with the big old Brussels. Fucking something to.
Okay.
Okay. So it was like a more manly choice to go with.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, who's doing peas in fucking 22? It's fucking.
That's so like 2010.
But I'll tell you what though, when the vast deference is fucking settling, you were right, Josh. Fucking the shit is just like fucking crazy, man. Like,
and how many times in your life do you get to talk about the vast deference? You know?
I know, right? Totally, very few. Right?
This is the opportunity to just get it out there.
But shout out to Dr. Weiser for fucking cutting that shit off.
Cece doesn't know about this, does he?
What are you going on about?
I got a vasectomy, dude.
He got a
what? Just for a laugh?
Yeah, you know, shits and giggles, you know. I was like, you know.
It's like, what can I do? Well, you know, it would be really funny.
Yeah.
Go to the vasectomy. That'd be
great. Oh my
god,
yo, this shit hurts so bad though. Oh my god, yo, if I get anybody out there, like, yo, it's fucking for real. Like, yo, he's in your balls and he's fucking using scissors.
What did you watch him? Did you watch it?
Oh yeah, like I thought there was going to be a curtain between me and the
What,
fucking.
is he just there?
No curtain.
No, you just
like when
when
women give birth, like in the old days, they'd have like a curtain so they couldn't see.
No
like
curtain.
no. But I'm saying in the olden days,
Oh,
like they would like put up like a thing so you couldn't see, and the doctor's like,
I thought there was going to be a curtain, but yo, no, they're just like, no, we're not going to do a curtain. They looked at me like I was fucking crazy. I was like, okay. So then, like, the nurse kept on saying mind over matter, and I was like, as soon as she said that, I was like, oh, I'm fucked. Like, this is not good.
Were you hoping that they would do it through like a hole in a curtain then? Like you'd be behind a curtain and your junk could just be through a hole?
That's how they do like a Jewish vasectomy.
Yeah, I was hoping there's going to be like some sort of sheet. And like, yo, Danger Bot, like fucking...
Dude.
Oops, I fucked that one. It's not that bad, dude.
It's not that bad if you get it done with a laser. So there's like the new way that they do it.
Yo, lasers?
The like...
Lasers?
Yeah, you can get it done if you have good insurance. You can get it done with a laser.
Oh yeah, like, so fucking my mediocre shit. They're like, we're not even gonna bring that up because like,
no, I have marketplace insurance, so I got it done with a pair of scissors and
just
like
they use a rubber band and some fucking like.
Are there arguments to do it the traditional way? What? Anyway, I don't know.
No, I don't know about that.
Way with the teeth.
My nurse was better than your nurse because my nurse just wanted to talk to me about Endgame and Avengers and like take my mind off of it, which I thought was really funny when I realized that was her whole job during the vasectomy, was just to like occupy me and entertain me.
I didn't even get a handhold, dude. I just got a fucking chill out, dude. It's gonna be over.
Hold my hand, man. That would have been weird.
I'll hold
well, you definitely
I like stare you down the whole time.
Totally. That's
it's like giving birth. They say that's not so bad either. 2022 new age science balls. Yeah. Exactly.
Totally. Anyways,
so his balls are getting better, and that's good news.
What does Sane's icon say? Can you put Sane's icon back up? Atheism
is a non-profit organization, but profit spelled like the profit.
Nice.
That's very funny.
Thanks for explaining that to me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Totally missing it.
I know.
Just
to address Danger Bot real quick. Can I just put a rubber band around my sack? Yes, you can, but it's also going to have adverse problems, probably depending on how many loops you go. So
I think that just fall off, and then you'd have a whole other issue.
For a while there,
but don't cut your balls off.
I was doing deep dives on bull castration.
Wow, we've gone real left field.
There are tons of videos on YouTube of like different ways to castrate bulls.
And if I can watch this on YouTube.
Oh, dude, you can go hard, and the best ones are where like literally they're like, and swoop, take the balls off. I won't go into detail, but then like half an hour later, salt and pepper in a pan,
and they eat them.
Yeah.
Well.
All right. On that note.
Let's get it back to,
and I just want to say thanks, Strange Cat, for my shirt.
Oh yeah, we were all thank you for our shirts. We haven't sent CZ his yet. He has a whole box of stuff. We did think about everybody wearing shirts at the same time, but we don't wear matching shirts because we're married. We can't do that, so we have to have other people send us shirts so we can rotate them.
So wait, Dangerbot, have you actually castrated a cow? I mean, a bull.
Can we send Dangerbot a link?
Oh, but you didn't eat them.
Can we get Dangerbot on the stream to tell us about castrating cows? Or is that weird?
I think that's too. I think we're going too dark. And Joe's here.
I know.
So,
can anybody guess who our guest is?
the one that we advertised.
I mean, yeah, but I know that, but we still kind of keep it a surprise that we bring
Do we?
On.
Yeah, no.
We're like, this is our guest this week.
That's what I like about the Tiger Belly podcast, where he you're not allowed to talk till he addresses you, even though you're sitting there.
Oh.
If you haven't watched Tiger Belly, go watch Tiger Belly podcast.
And if you're on Instagram, come to YouTube.
Thank you, Sane. So, Dangerbot, did you do it like just the V method with your hand, or did you have an implement or rubber bands?
Tell us more. Maybe you can come on at the end and tell us, Dangerbot.
No, the vibe will be gone. the vibe will be gone. It'll be fucking weird. He'll come on and be like, and now
Let me tell you about oh, okay. Well, I would like to know more. We're gonna have you on your own show.
Really?
And then we'll learn about
wow.
it.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I gotta throw this on though. Like fucking, I used to sell.
Wow, who knew that this was such a thing to talk about?
Yeah,
That we would get most interaction when we start talking about castrating balls and having vasectomies.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
You guys on Instagram are really missing out on these amazing comments.
Just a pocket knife.
Come to YouTube.
Fuck yeah.
It's just still an app on your phone.
Dude, I am
just
so
you
impressed.
know. You can get off Instagram and get on YouTube.
I someday maybe I can come hang with you and your family and we can castrate some bulls together. I would totally do that.
That's so
That'd be
weird.
crazy. That'd be wild.
Susie's like, I gotta go.
I saw somebody do it with a drill and a rubber band.
Oh my god.
What's up, Meg Designs?
What's up? What's up?
Hey.
What's up?
What time is it there?
It's early.
Or is it late? No, it's early.
It's early.
Well, thanks for joining us so early in the day. It's like, what time is it here? It must be like 6 a.m. You grab his back leg, wrestle him to the ground. One person hold his legs, and someone else cuts his nuts. This is crazy.
This is
How
bullshit.
did we not know?
No, this is bullshit. This is bullshit.
Again.
You're totally lying to us. That is not how it works. You would die. They have like a special stall where they walk him down and they pin him, and then they get the back legs like set, and then they go for the nuts. No one's wrestling a fucking bull to the ground with a pocket knife.
Nice.
Someone's scheduling their vasectomy. So this is like a comment. Like, wow,
Yeah,
this is uniting the chat tonight.
So
Science hour. Like, welcome.
We don't do any of it anymore.
Oh my god. Well, live and on court, like definitely do it, and like just make sure like you fucking I don't know, mind over matter, my guy, mind over matter. Just make eye contact with the nurse, and fucking it's gonna be okay.
Right. On that note, I think we should move on to toys. I think we should.
But I think there's.
Hey, Fat Dad Toys, thanks for joining us.
I think you should make a T-shirt about this, Dangerbot. Do it.
To calves, not full-grown balls.
I'll send you some videos.
Still think it's bullshit.
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
Dude,
we'll see. All right.
I don't want to assault any animals. Although
we do have some toy news that we can kind of talk about, but not really. So we're having a big drop tomorrow, but we can't tell you what it is because we're not allowed to.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, just keep your eyes open for our stuff because it's really cool.
Amazing drop happening tomorrow.
We have a collaboration. There's a bunch of artists involved.
So
There's
cool.
a bunch of brands involved. That's all I can tell you.
Wait,
You're involved.
We're
involved.
involved.
I'm just going out there saying I'm involved.
You're involved. Do it. You put it out there.
I don't
You're
think
involved.
you're lying. I think you're lying.
I think that's the truth. So tomorrow's going to be awesome because that's going to be a really cool release. I wish we could tell you and show you about it, but tomorrow we absolutely can.
Hey, what's up, Frank?
Hey, Frank. Thank you for joining us.
I tried to get permission to sneak it tonight and it was like, no, let's wait.
Next week, we'll talk about it on this show. Tomorrow, we'll talk about it on Instagram.
We'll have the artists on.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
We're synchronized.
Anything else to talk about? We have 3 awesome gallery shows next week. We have Ego Ventura, we have JM Rizzi, and we have Zachary. How do you say his last name?
Friedberg.
There you go. I was going to say it wrong, so thank you for helping me out there.
I've been corrected so many times. So Friedberg.
Thanks.
Friedberg. No, his stuff is really cool. I'm excited to have his stuff here. It's going to be rad.
It's going to be awesome. All right. So without further ado, hang on. Let's wait for him to come back to his seat. Like, you guys are just talking about ball sex too much. I got to go.
These East Coast people.
Yeah. All the way from the West Coast.
This is going to be like a hard East Coast versus West Coast episode.
Let's debate all the East Coast versus West Coast right now with the amazing toy designer, Joe Ledbetter. Here he is. We need like a jingle for when people come on too.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hello.
How are you, man?
Hey. Well, what a great intro to the show.
We didn't know it was going to go so deep on ball sex, but there you go. That's what happens.
Well, I learned a lot.
That's good.
I mean, the one time we tried to talk about Brexit, it just got really dark and fast. So at least when we talked about castration, there was like interaction and people were into it. So,
I'm shocked.
Who knew?
I'm shocked how much interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Mech Designs, before we start, wants to know if C's in an arcade shop, but no, that's his house. C's is just in
that's my house. Yeah, this is my my upstairs arcade sort of place.
hangout spot. It's where he hangouts. It's where he hangs out. So, Joe,
That's
welcome.
awesome. I want to hang out there.
Yeah, I know. We're all going to come over and play computer games in Weymouth.
Now that you're full screen here, I can see you got some really cool toys behind you.
Yeah.
Is that your office or your studio?
This is my living room.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, the internet doesn't work well at all in my studio, so I have to do these kind of things in my living room.
Cool. That's cool. You crossed the line because we have no toys in our house.
Yeah.
It's an unwritten policy. I
It's
don't
like-
think that's. It's just that. I
So
mean,
you got loads of toys in your house, just all over the place.
that's
I
true.
got
But
toys everywhere. I don't know where else to put them. So
that's true. So, where do we start with Joe? Because
Joe Ledbetter. So I'll start.
Go on then.
So before I knew almost anything about toys, designer toys, really, I had my history with designer toys, but when you and I got together, it was like Joe Ledbetter was like a myth. Like I wasn't aware of your toys, but you were it's like, well, Joe Ledbetter toys are like the shit. And I was like, what are those? And then you were like, I have this crazy stash of toys. And so, you were larger than life for me in my early days of really getting into the designer toy world.
Because when I moved here, I had to sell a couple. We've never sold toys. We've sold, I think, 3 toys in our whole life. And
Of our collection.
Yeah, of our collection.
We don't sell our collection.
No.
And once something sort of gets put into one of these cases,
It stays.
it's like sacrosanct.
Yeah, that's
It's
it.
like, that's not for sale.
Right. So I had the full
So
set of
permanent
Mr.
collection.
Bunnies.
Yes.
Yeah, I had the full
Exactly.
set of Mr. Bunnies. But to afford to move to New York, I sold the Lava Bunny.
wow.
And that pretty much funded my trip to move here. Yeah.
Well,
Which
wow.
now we're like, what the
So you played a big part in my life of moving
That's
to
amazing.
America.
I'm gonna go on
Yeah.
eBay right now
And try and buy it back.
buy it back.
Yeah, but I have IPs too, so it's you wouldn't be able to probably get the how special the one that I had was. But there you go. I kept these two.
Oh, that's really cool. That's a great story.
I'm
Yeah.
looking.
He's looking right now, eBay. So let's go back in time before toys, and tell us about your life growing up and what influenced you. What was life like as a kid? Did you go to art school? Did you draw all the time? What was life like as a little Joe Ledbetter?
Oh my God. I don't know. I guess going all the way back, in kindergarten, I was sort of, I remember being a lot of the other kids in the class were paying attention to what I was drawing, and I could draw bees really well. And I started to see myself as sort of an artist from then. And I remember there was another kid, Paul, in another class, and he was an artist too. And so we were a little bit I felt a little bit competitive with him through the years. And we ended up becoming best friends for a while. But yeah, since the beginning, I've always sort of been drawing, and I have a twin brother who's really good at everything, especially school. And me.
Is he identical or
fraternal? He's a fraternal brother.
Okay.
And so as a twin, you're always sort of competing. People are always comparing you.
Yeah.
So I just had to find something to be good at to sort of keep up with my overachieving brother. So it became art.
That's awesome. I had no idea you were a twin.
Yeah.
That's
It's always
crazy.
weird to find out.
Twins.
Yeah, because it's not like you're walking around and people can tell you're a twin.
No, it's true. My dad's an identical twin, so I grew up with this weird. I couldn't quite tell who was my dad and my uncle sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Neither could be mom.
neither could my mom or my grandma. So yeah,
There you go.
it's weird. Did you dress the same? When you
No.
were really little? No.
Well, we did. When we were
Like-
really little, my mom dressed us. Well, I always wore red and my brother wore blue.
Ah.
But we didn't. He always looked like my older brother. He was always a little bit bigger. So we just looked like brothers. And we still do.
That's interesting. Who's
Yeah.
older?
I'm older by 5 minutes.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's Like you'll always
He pushed me out. He pushed me out. That's what I think.
Okay.
get out the way.
He didn't want to come.
No, but you didn't. So you didn't go to school for art, though, right? You went to university for something else.
So I went to high school very close to Art Center in Pasadena. So we used to ditch school and go up to Art Center and check out the gallery and stuff, what all the students are doing and things like that. And I remember as a senior, I saw Jeff Soto's work and Tara McPherson's work there, and just a whole bunch of other work there. And always wanted to go there. And I took Saturday classes there, and then I did a portfolio review and got completely rejected and brokenhearted. And so I didn't go to arts. I sort of gave up on art school after that.
They didn't know. They didn't know.
Well, I didn't know.
Pretty heavy hitters to be influenced by, like, immediately.
Yeah, the Clayton brothers were teaching there at the time, so they had a huge influence too over like a lot of, I think especially Jeff Soto.
Yeah.
But a lot of the artists that were going to school there, and then there are all kinds of other cool, like, it's like sort of a product design place too. So people are designing cars and vacuum cleaners and baseball gloves and all kinds of stuff there. So
is it near where Decon was?
It's up in the mountain. It's up in sort of like the far west Pasadena. It's further west than Old Town, where it's by the Rose Bowl is where it is. Oh. It's above the Rose Bowl, if anyone knows where that is. So
you were born and bred West Coast?
Yeah. Yes.
Been there the whole time. That's it.
Yeah, but my dad is from Western New York. He's from Buffalo.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I have family out there in Vermont, and my cousin was at West Point for a while, which I think is close to you guys now.
It is. It's right over the river. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to a wedding now.
Yeah, you could look at it over the river.
Yeah, it's beautiful out there. I went to a wedding about 5 years ago out there. It was really cool.
We have seasons.
We do have seasons. You had some rain.
I'm just doing some East Coast versus West Coast shit.
You just had some rain.
I don't play that game.
You don't play. You're like, nah, Josh. Nah. I'm not gonna mess around.
So you didn't get into art school, and then you went and studied something else. What did you study?
Yeah, I got into a school in Northern California, Humboldt State University, which is just like a great school. It's a big stoner school. It's up in the redwood forest, where like the redwoods meet the ocean, right south of Oregon. It's beautiful. I was up there for 5 years, studied sociology. I also studied art too. I have an art minor, so I just took a lot of ceramics and art history and some graphic design classes and stuff.
Somebody else in the chat also got rejected from there. They said the art center's up in the hills of Pasadena. I also got rejected from there.
No,
in fairness, I should have been rejected from there. And in fairness, they were right. I mean, I wasn't ready, and my work wasn't good enough. It wasn't.
Yeah.
So,
at
18, I would not have been ready to go to art school. I would have been ready at 21, 22.
Did you feel like, so you didn't have enough good influences in high school to really prepare you? You were kind of like just doing your own thing without guidance?
Yeah, it was sort of all over the place. I mean, it was still very cartoony, but it was kind of all over the place, and I didn't have a lot of technique yet. I didn't have very much style. I don't know. But I also, at the same time, I was pretty good. I got an internship at a graphic design studio when I started to learn Photoshop, and it must have been 1994. So pretty early on Photoshop. Yeah. I was just playing with the filters mostly and stuff, but yeah.
So Joe, I apologize for laughing while you were talking, but Kyle Kirwan is translating for us.
I don't play that game. The West Coast talk for West Coast is better, so I don't need to comment on this. Just for your information, Josh.
Yes. So Kyle,
that's true.
That is so true. On the West Coast.
Yeah, Kyle, I think is from Orange.
Yes, he is.
it basically is saying I don't want to play this game.
Yeah.
Which is
yeah.
better.
That's exactly what you said. But
I don't
Kyle's
want to make you feel bad, East Coasters, so I'm not even.
hey man, people are fleeing California.
I'm kidding.
I know.
America. So.
People are fleeing everywhere.
I don't know.
People are just
What are you
fleeing
talking
right
about?
now.
All right. So
So it was too cartoony, so rightly so. And then you went to Humboldt. Is the weed as good as they say it is?
Yeah, of course.
Is it still special? Or you don't know anymore?
I haven't been there in years.
Yeah.
I haven't been there in years. I mean, it was barely legal when I was there. It was
barely legal.
It became medicinal, I think, the last year I was there. So I mean, this was the late 90s. So
yeah.
No, in the 90s it was like Humboldt was like, coveted. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it. It's pretty powerful. So then what happened? Art minor.
And you were doing graphic design.
Yeah, I moved back down to LA to find work, and I got a gig as a in-house graphic artist at an apparel company. And I started to use Illustrator like every day for 3 years, and just did a lot of it was a junior girls apparel company. So we did a lot of like t-shirts that said princess on them with glitter, and like muscle car, like girl shirts with muscle cars on them, or like verbiages that say like stuff like your boyfriend's cute, or stupid stuff like that for teenage girls. And that's where I met Thomas Hahn. And that's when I started to because he was a vendor for the company I worked for. He was a silkscreen vendor.
That's crazy.
Okay.
That's how he would start using like after hours he would silkscreen his artwork. Was Luke Chu around as well? Yeah. Well, I met Thomas first, and then Thomas and I started to go to Cannibal Flower shows. Yeah. And then that's at the Cannibal Flower shows is where we met Luke and sort of struck up a friendship, and we sort of hung out a lot and did a lot of art shows together. Yeah. I mean, after that, Luke invited Thomas and I to be part of his Vivsec playset art show, his first one at Gallery 1988. And then things kind of took off from there for us. So
was Thomas your introduction into Designer Toys, or were you already aware?
No, we sort of, I don't know if we discovered them together, but I think, I don't know the timeline quite right, but I had stumbled into Kid Robot in San Francisco probably in 2002.
Was Huck working there at the time?
No, he wasn't. He was, but he wasn't there that day.
Oh, there you go.
So,
what an amazing convergence of people who are important.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Really, like, we're in the right place, the right time with the right people.
It was exciting to see that stuff. I mean, I came across just these, display cases full of James Jarvis pieces and Nathan Jervicius, which I just fell in love with, his pieces. And I bought a bunch of Star Wars Kubricks. Like they just came out with a Bounty Hunter series of blind box Kubricks, and I bought a couple of those and some of those Scary Girl mini treehouse figures.
Of which there are behind you. Lots of Scary Girl pieces behind you.
There are, there are. I have a lot. Yeah, I've got the Mono series and the Mono Flying Cat series. I think all of them.
I have that down there too in this shelf, which you can't see. I love that.
Yeah, and the color ones and stuff. And those are still, I bought those from back then. I'd find them on eBay for like really cheap, and nobody knew what they were.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of a weird thing about collecting that I wonder about, is that like, do certain artists just drop out of favor?
Yeah.
If they don't push their career?
Yeah, maybe, but they're, I don't know.
Because they're so influential. Like, they like, I look at those figures and they still influence the way we think about things.
Absolutely. They're amazing.
I think Nathan is doing all kinds of cool stuff. I mean, he's doing his like the feature now.
Yeah, the animated. Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, talk about talent. Like, there's so many talented people in the designer toy world, but he's like one of the top. I have to say,
I
he
agree.
surprises me every time.
I agree, and he's so sweet too.
Yeah.
Kyle says that it really shows the importance of physical spaces. It does. A lot of these stories start with, I walked into Kid Robot, or I walked into Play Lounge, or I walked into whatever toy store it was to discover. Yeah.
No, it was total, like, I mean, it was on Haight Street. We were just walking down Haight Street. I think we were at Amoeba Records across the street, just wandered in. Whoa, what is this? You know?
Yeah, and it warps your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was like, I can do this. Like, because I was already sort of painting these characters and stuff like this is like, this could work, you know? And I don't know, just something about it just felt really approachable. I hadn't met anyone that could make a toy yet. There really anyone in the industry. So I was still sort of in like the underground art world then,
Right.
so, you know, and hanging out with Thomas and Luke.
Absolutely.
This is a conversation because you didn't work for one of the major toy companies.
And everybody lately we've spoken
Yeah,
to
like
is
the
true.
last few podcasts, it's like, oh, I worked at Hasbro. Oh, I worked at Mattel. Or like, oh,
That's
I pitched toys. And it's like, no,
But it is
man.
interesting. It's interesting as an artist when you do stumble into these places, and I did the same. And then suddenly, you do look around, and suddenly, your stupid doodles that you're doing at home, like they suddenly make sense in this environment. And when you do look around for the first time and you find designer toys, whether they're keys or dunnies or whatever, like you just like, damn, yeah, this can work, man. Do you know what I mean? Suddenly, I feel in the right place. Do you know what I mean? And then you go home sort of excited
like
about
it validates like your like, ideas, you know, and your like your style, I guess, you know.
Definitely, yeah.
So what was your entry into you making designs for toys then? How did that come about? Because it wasn't through Kid Robot to begin with, right? That wasn't your first foray into designer toys.
No, so back then there were all the forums and stuff. There was the Keyology forum and like the Kid Robot forum and like all the couple more smaller forums, I think. And then there was this Design a Key contest. And I pushed my girlfriend at the time, who was an artist, and Thomas Hahn, to like make designs for this competition, and I would make them too and send them in, and no one else really turned them in, but I turned mine in. I turned like 5 designs in, and then they had this event at, was it the Play Lounge?
Play Lounge, yeah.
Play
it was
Lounge,
a toy in London. Yep.
And it was like this, well, I think there were custom shows I was involved with first there.
Yeah. They did a really big key toy show that wasn't in Play Lounge, but it was organized by Play Lounge. They took over a different space further around in Soho. And I think that was one of the first custom shows that I went to in London. So it was probably that one.
I think it was like a traveling show though, too. Like it was, I think, I'm not sure. I feel like I gave Raymond a couple keys and they just went everywhere.
Oh,
but
that definitely did that later on they absolutely did that too.
What year is that?
2005-ish? Is that 2005?
I don't remember.
Around then, I think.
That I don't remember.
2005, yeah.
But anyway, so there was a big like show and like jury to decide the winners, and I was chosen, and so that became my first toy.
Amazing.
Who was on that jury?
Tato.
Yes.
Were you on that jury?
No, I don't think so. But we were working with Toys Who Are a lot back then.
The only people I remember was Tato.
Yeah.
Was on that, so.
Shout out to Mike and Kaylee. Hope you're doing good. They're awesome.
Yeah. I had a chance to meet them once. They're super cool.
They are. They're so much
sweet.
fun. They are. That's funny. Yeah, Play Lounge is a huge influence in a lot of people.
Yeah, so like
magazine because of them. So yeah.
Yeah, that just seemed like such like it's sort of like an important place for the designer toy world, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Another one that's not there.
It's not there.
That was that's Back Street, London, like Carnaby Street, isn't it?
Yeah, it was Carnaby Street. It's right at Soho.
I went there a few times. Yeah, they had so many keys in there. It was great. That was
They did. They were the distributor. That's why
Yeah.
they were the main distributor. There's a story there. We need to get Dan on to like tell the whole story.
yeah.
But there were partners in the company, and the one guy ran off and took all the money, and like went to the Caribbean or something and killed that whole distribution arm. But yeah, there's like some wild story there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Toy designer, Toy Confidential.
Well, it just seemed like such a cool spot because like, and it also just seemed like, wow, there's this scene around the world. Like, I can't believe my work is in England. Oh my God, that's crazy. Like, you know.
Yeah. It was the epicenter of designer toys in England, was Play Lounge. And then, you know, Forbidden Planet carried some stuff. And then there was Maharishi around the corner that was like, you know, a fashion brand, but also did really great toy shows. And we met Michael Lau there, we met Eric So there, we met Futura there, we met Jamie Hewlett there, we met Pete Fowler there. And that was all at Maharishi. But it was all part of the same network of people. So,
right.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a good spot. And Bape was right there too.
We should get people to open up physical locations again.
People are, I think. People are starting to.
We have one.
We do.
But we're closed.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
So you did your key, and then what happened next after that?
That was a custom key.
That was a custom that was picked
to then become part of an actual series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Sort of. Yeah. It wasn't a custom. It was just like it was just flat art. You had to like submit. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then doing a lot of art shows. I had 2 artist show with Thomas Hahn at Cannibal Flower, which is the big underground art show in LA at the time, which was a big deal to have that space.
Yeah. Is that still in existence?
It is.
In Pasadena?
No, it's Cannibal Flower doesn't really have a home. It just sort of goes around to different warehouses where they have space.
Okay, gotcha.
So usually downtown LA, but it bounces around. At the time, it would go from Glendale to Pasadena to mostly downtown LA, in just big warehouse spaces. So
cool.
But yeah, we'd show there, and then I invited this guy that I met at Monkey King store, who's Richard Van Owen, and I invited him to come to the show and check out this little sculpture I made that was sort of a sculpey prototype of Mr. Bunny. And he came and he wanted to make the toy out of it. So that's sort of how we met and how I sort of connected with him. And
that was this.
Yeah, then we teamed up with Dave Bondi, who did sculpt that. And there we go.
Here he is.
Right.
This was him, Mr. Bunny.
Yeah, the lava one came out first, a Kid Robot, when they were in Santa Monica.
Yeah, that's the one that I sold to Fun. I actually sold the Lava Firecat too. It was both of them.
There's no Lava Firecat, but
was it
blue
not?
Firecat, right?
The blue one. Yeah, that's the one. It was the blue one and then the Lava Bunny.
Yeah. Yeah, Kid Robot didn't want I made a Lava Firecat design, but Kid Robot didn't want it. So
weird.
Yeah, it's strange. So the toy company that produced
nobody knew there was going to be a big deal. Like it was. I remember before it's like, gee, I hope people show up, you know. And it was
I think what was really special about your artwork is the graphical nature of it and how that's captured in all of the sculpts. Not only with the bold lines, but also the flat planes.
Yeah, sure.
The sculpts are just really good. So this was with the toy company.
Black lines, doesn't it? It's great.
It does. The black lines are like it sets it apart from everything else. And it really, it portrays your artwork so well, too.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this was with Weedy Wheat, who are no longer around, but were awesome back in the day.
Yeah, they had a lot of great artists they're working with, and the quality was pretty hard to beat, I have to say. They did a great job.
They did. This was 2005. This was 2005. So this is the Firecat. This was the follow-up to Mr. Bunny.
They were done at the same time. They were designed and sculpted and everything at the same time. So, and they released it. I think they released at the same time.
Yeah. So, what was it like producing these figures? How did it feel when they came out? When you first held the first Mr. Bunny?
I had. I was in an argument with Weedy Wheat, and so I had to go to the stores. I had to go to the stores to get one.
Oh.
They were like selling out, you know. I had to like rush, and I went to Monkey. Patrick, please, man, can I have 3, please?
Really?
He was nice enough to sell me 3 of my, you know, the toy I designed. Yeah.
What? I mean, I don't actually know the story of Weedy Wheat.
I think a lot of stuff happened with Weedy Wheat.
What would be like the?
I would say this. I would say it came down to like the toys I was making at the time became unexpectedly popular, and people sort of have weird reactions to that. And then some people want to sort of take control of, you know, of like other people's careers. And when they push back, they get upset, and then other things start to happen, you know?
Right.
I don't know how else to say it, but yeah. So we had a lot of disagreements. There was a lawsuit. There was all kinds of stuff, and it was over a dunny. I should keep watching.
Wow.
Wow. You can keep going.
Wow.
It's been so long.
It's been a long time.
It's been over 7 years.
It's not an active lawsuit, right?
No,
it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
No. It was settled.
So what? Well, I don't even know.
Oh, this is so juicy.
Do the highlights without the drama.
No drama. Just give us some story beats.
Well, I came out with a Mr. Bunny Dunny, which they knew about, and then they sued me over it, and they sued Kid Robot over it because it was too close to the Mr. Bunny toy.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah.
But, you know, a month later, he said, "This is a great idea. It's going to be cross promotion," you know?
Right.
So there's a little bit of mental instability.
From what I understand, it was a lot of weed smoking and bad decisions too.
There was also, I had recently hired someone to help me, like organize my work and just help me with all the stuff I couldn't do. And I think he didn't like her influence over some decisions I was making at the time. So there's a little bit of this like weird power struggle.
Oh yeah.
And like the dynamics sort of changed. And so, yeah, it got pretty ugly. And then we just stopped talking and just talked through lawyers, you know?
No, that's sad when that happens.
Yeah.
That's sad.
We were originally going to title this podcast Toy Drama Never Sleeps.
That's true. We were.
It does not sleep.
Because it never sleeps. It's always there. There's always some toy drama.
And it's shocking.
And we could be, instead of Watch Your Toy Story, we can be Watch Your Toy Drama.
Like, there's a story behind every toy.
But regardless,
yes,
Richard is a very talented toy designer and a very talented at producing toys, and he's very passionate about it. And I was lucky to work with him. And the other lucky thing about it was that I had to stop doing Mr. Bunny stuff for a while this whole thing blew over. So it forced me to create new characters and not just lean on Mr. Bunny all the time. So honestly, I think it was a good thing in the end.
That's a very healthy perspective.
It is.
That probably took you years.
Yeah. Took me 15 years. But.
Yeah.
Well, they say with every door that closes, a new one opens, right? So you have to find the positivity in every situation because there's usually something somewhere.
Yeah, no, that's, we get excited about these opportunities, and sometimes the doors actually open and sometimes they close. And when they close, there's always a reason.
Yeah.
And you have to be a survivor, to be a hustler, to be an artist, to be a successful person who's, not like,
Well, I think to be an artist, you have to be a hustler, and you have to be like that. Because that stuff happens all the time. You're always facing rejection. You're always trying to find, a way to make a buck, sort of, and how to survive, to, pay rent for the next month so you can keep going,
Right.
So,
I mean, we're so lucky that we get to have these conversations with people who have had successful careers. So 2 days ago, James Groman's on, and it's kind of the opposite conversation because he's like from the inside and got to make stuff.
Every it's like dream job,
and with health insurance.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's interesting.
And I would never
He
want
learned the proper way to like make toys and start a career with professionals.
And
I
was
some kid that was like had probably not the best attitude also.
Right. He literally was kicked out of school and they put him in a program and it was like, but anytime that we've ever been faced with the choice to go in, when we first started, we had a web company and people wanted to buy us and put us in an office and we would have been making nice salaries. And I've had there have been so many opportunities to go in to the corporate world and it's always felt wrong.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
So you left
as an artist.
Yeah.
I think everyone has that crippling self-doubt sometime in their artist career. If you say you haven't, you're fucking full of shit, man. Do you know what I mean? Because it is a struggle sometimes. You know what I mean? Are they gonna understand what I'm trying to tell here, or have I got the talent really to prolong a career? Do you know what I mean? So as an artist, it is a difficult one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Difficult.
That sort of reminds me of the artist Robert Williams, lowbrow artist.
Mm-hmm.
When people ask him for advice, like kids and stuff, like students, he always says, they say like, what is give me some words of wisdom. And he says, quit. Don't be an artist. It's too hard. What are you doing? Are you crazy?
Yeah.
And the reasoning is, and it's like, that's so harsh, but like the reasoning is like, if you're going to listen to him tell you that and do it anyway, then you'll probably be fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly,
absolutely.
that was what my sculpture professor said to us the first day at university. He was like, welcome to art school. 99% of you will not become artists. You will become craftspeople, you will become artisans, but you will not be a working fine artist. And it was like, what? That was so harsh. I didn't know how to take that at all. But it's the best advice because you have to have almost like an insane drive to just be like, well, he's not talking about me. I'm going to keep going.
Right. That's everybody else.
He's talking to these people, like,
I always think when like lecturers say that, they're talking about themselves. They're just like, fuck my life, man. Like, I just fucking teach people this shit. You know what I mean? They're just like, I hate my life.
I don't know, but at NYU, aren't they all working artists still at NYU?
When I was in school, they were all working, showing artists, and they were all. It was funny because they were all Yale graduates, Yale grad school graduates, who had like created like a cabal to get each other jobs at teaching
so
at NYU,
be artists and
be working and showing in Soho, and that's what was really going on. I was 19 years old. It's hard to understand the perspective of a 35 or 40-year-old man or woman at that point to understand the game that they're playing.
Sure.
To get a salary while they're living in Manhattan or Brooklyn and making an art career, wasn't apparent to me at that time. But like, they were definitely looking at us going like, you don't know how hard this is, kid.
Yeah. So how did you make the transition to being a full-time artist?
Well, my art shows were doing really, really well, and just everything was selling out at the time. So I just quit my day job. I didn't really have any responsibilities. I was 25 or something like that. So it was 2004. So I was working for Gamma Go at the time too, like freelancing. So I had that on the side and a few other sort of freelance gigs. So I could make it work, and I did.
And you just jumped in.
Yeah, I just jumped in.
Didn't look back.
No, and it was just sort of just surviving for the first 5 years. It was really, it was month to month. It was, I mean, the thing with being an artist and doing like art shows is that it just, your money just fluctuates so much.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's your cat.
This is a good theme. No, this is a good theme. You're like the third artist to come on with cat in the background.
Cats.
Oh yeah,
Cats. There's a connection here, artists and cats.
My wife is trying to catch her right now.
We can see her in the reflection. Jason's cat.
Come here.
That's so funny. Yeah, totally.
That's like,
This is a mean
no.
cat.
Wrangle that cat.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So Weedy Wheat went south, but made awesome figures. So then you did the Kid Robot Dunnies,
Oh my
which
God,
must
hold on a second.
have opened you up to a whole new audience too. Because the Dunny had its own built-in audience, let alone Mr. Bunny being successful in his own right.
Yeah.
Chasing the cat. Like,
yeah. Then I started to make a lot of stuff with Kid Robot, and kept working with Dave Bondi. So we did the Unicornosaurus, we did Teeter first, and like other variations of Teeter, and then I got to start traveling a bit.
We can totally see the action. Who were you close with the Kid Robot?
Nicole.
I'm sorry, what?
Who are you close with the Kid Robot?
It was the original crew. It was Nicole and Chad and
Yeah, Paul and Nicole and Chad and who else was there? Those are the three I remember the most.
yeah, they were the main driving force.
Joanna.
Yes.
That was like the New York crew when Kid Robot was really still functioning the way it was intended
that
to
was
function.
the dream team.
Yes.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
Kid Robot was amazing back then. Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, just so good. So good. So there was Mr. Bunny and this was Miss Bunny, right? The pink one?
Yeah, she's the Chase.
Yeah.
From the LA Dunny series.
She says, I love candy. Because of course she does. And then there was this little palm tree that came with it.
Yeah. Chad designed that.
Yeah.
Well, I did but he just made it and was like, hey, can we just put like another accessory like a palm tree?
You were like, okay.
Yeah, sure. Let me just take my artwork on it. So
it says Mr. Bunny and Miss Bunny. And mine is all chewed up because I had a puppy at the time that got a hold of this. But I still kept it. It's chewed up, but it's still a good.
Was that the danger dog?
That was Loki.
That was Loki. That's a really bad name for a dog.
I know. I'm sorry. It was bad. He destroyed that, and he also knocked down. I have one of the big Nathan Bunny's gurus.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow. Which
color?
I
mean,
it's over there.
The original, just white.
Color?
The original full color
right.
one. Yeah. And so he knocked it down the stairs and snapped the ear off it. So he broke two very special toys.
No, I always wanted that. It's so big though.
Yeah.
It's here.
It's here.
I don't know if it's valuable other than it's here, but
it is. It's great. Well, it's not.
No,
it's
broken,
I'm
saying like
it's valuable to me.
No, that's what I think we're saying the same thing.
Good. That's good.
There you go.
I always wanted the tree stump for the minifigures. I never.
Oh yeah.
One of those.
I saw that.
I didn't get that either. So
was a Kid Robot?
No. It was
Flying Cat.
Yeah, Flying Cat put out all those guys.
So who was
back to Kid Robot? Yeah, Kid Robot was great. I mean, it was so fun to work with them, and that was sort of like the peak of the industry, right? This is like 2006, 2007.
A peak.
Yeah.
A peak. Yes.
A peak.
There have been, it's interesting like the way it's gone. But so who was Flying Cat?
I have to say it was my peak. It was probably my peak.
You think so? You think that was your peak?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was the days though, right?
That was the days. That was the days of like people lining up in the streets.
That was the day when you would expect people to line up around the corner and back again.
Yeah, that was.
Toy. Yeah.
Absolutely. And there was the release at the San Diego Comic-Con release that turned up at San Diego and was bad. Yeah. And not released, right? There's a whole. That was one of Joe's figures. You can tell the story, Joe. I knew that was going to happen.
Please tell the story.
Tell us the story of the San Diego Comic-Con release that didn't happen.
Well, I was asked by Frank Kozik to design, or Kid Robot, or both, to design their Labbit. I guess I was going to be the first artist to design a Labbit besides Frank.
This is later.
It's the big.
No, this is pre Kozik's like.
Oh yeah, yes.
This is just Kozik having done the Labbit at KR.
This is just Kozik as an artist, not part of Kid Robot.
Yeah.
Right.
This
the
is
first
peak Kid
ladder.
Robot time.
Just putting all the chess pieces in their positions on the board.
Yeah.
Yes.
This was the height of Kid Robot still.
Right.
So I designed it, and it had a bunny on it at first, and then I realized, you know what, I probably need to change that. I don't want to get in any trouble with Weedy Wee. So I changed it to it was a wolf. It was a weird piece, but it was a wolf that was cutting off his own head, and it was called Cold Turkey, like he was quitting smoking by cutting his head off. It was sort of a stupid joke, but that was the graphic. And there was a lot going on. It was wrapping all around, and ultimately the piece was too big to get the pad prints to line up, and you know, they just couldn't produce it consistently. So
And
there
this was
were
going to be on the Labbit.
Yes.
this was on the lab, all over the lab, but
I
everything
understand.
had to line up, and you
I'm
know,
just making
I
sure
think,
we all know what we're talking about.
yeah, and I think my inexperience with toy design was part of the problem, just because I was putting stuff everywhere, not thinking how it was going to be done.
Right.
So we had realized that we were having problems about 2 weeks before Comic-Con, and they had produced some Band-Aids that I designed to put over like the spots that were pretty bad.
Awesome.
That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
so that we were in good shape. And then when they arrived, and we sort of when they arrived at San Diego Comic-Con in the back, and Nicole grabbed me off the floor to go into the back cargo area with Paul and somebody else to look at the figures. And they said, "These are all really bad. What do you want to do?" And they just started showing me one after the other, and they were all like way worse than the factory had let on.
Like the pad printing was just misaligned, and
yeah, but horribly misaligned with all the different colors. So it was it was just sort of like a mess.
Wow.
And they kind of left it up to me. And so I just said, I probably would have released them now. But back then I just felt so much pressure of like, everything has to be the best quality, or it has to be like, it can't come out, or, you know, whatever. So, so I decided not to release them, and they sent them back. We held we kept like 10. I got one.
It was a whole drama at the time, though, of like there was going to be this Joe Ledbetter release at San Diego Comic-Con, and it didn't happen, and everyone was like,
yeah. Then I had a signing, an hour later with Frank Kozik at the Kid Robot booth, and the line had been there like all day.
Right.
Yeah. So, we just
people
drew in sketchbooks, and it was a bummer.
But I mean, I think that your instinct was probably right. I know how we feel when we open boxes,
and it's not quite right.
And we see samples, and we approve samples, and we look at turnarounds, and like we see everything. But when they actually when they actually fucking arrive from China here, and we open the box, there's always that moment of like,
is it going to be good? Yeah, you never know.
And you look at it, and if it's not right, you're like, oh, this is permanent.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to make it again.
Yeah. That's every time.
It's every time.
Yeah, it is.
It's every time that you feel that way. So, I mean, I commend you for being like, no, and not feeling the pressure.
It's interesting, though.
Because they were probably like, this is a lot of money, Joe. There's a lot of money on the line here.
Yeah, but they were also like making so much money at the time. Like they were in a good position they could do that.
Yeah.
Right? So it wasn't like I was
crippling the company by doing
that.
Yeah.
They didn't make me feel, they just said, you make the call.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting that you say you might not have made the same call now, though. Is that with experience that you're like, you understand that things don't always turn out the way you want them to, or?
I think there's a bit of that. I think there's also like, there is the financial responsibility. Like that's kind of not cool, Kid Robot, for me to do that, even though they gave me the choice.
Right.
You know, it's like, wow, that's a big loss.
Yeah.
It's a big waste of like vinyl and materials. I know they recycle it, but you know, shipping it all the way out here, all that stuff, like people have been waiting all day. People have been waiting for weeks to get this.
Right.
You know, and so like all that stuff adds up, and it makes me feel like And it would have been my worst toy.
Right. Right.
Right.
Right. But if the people that were there had bought that piece and it was just the people that were there, they would now be like, wow, we got that piece from San Diego Comic Con and you could only get it there too.
Yeah.
People were pissed. Kyle said in the comments.
It could have been probably cool if we just limited it to the people that bought it there and then sent the rest back.
Yeah.
That would have probably been the best solution. But now it's sort of this legendary piece that there's only like 10 floating around somewhere.
Totally. Great.
Do you have one close to you? No, it's hidden somewhere away.
No, it's in a box somewhere.
Yeah. I knew that was going to be the case.
In the archive.
That's interesting.
Nervous Rex said it was a good choice not to release it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I think so too. But Carl's right. People work it.
You were all on the same page out the back as well. You weren't like pressured by them to go, well, it's kind of all right, bring it out. It sounds like you were all just like, this is dog shit, dude. Like, fuck.
Yeah, no, they were so cool. They were so cool about it. They were apologetic,
Yeah.
So
that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. CZ had a similar issue with a toy that you then customized the entire run.
To get around.
Wow.
We did, yeah. That was a big decision, wasn't it? That was that was one of those moments. But
it was a similar kind of thing where it was like, here's 200 toys
that
are not right.
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, and it wasn't the communication had broken down a little bit, and we hadn't sort of got a final okay. It was like they're done. So I just decided to hand paint all, I don't know, 150 of them.
It was like 150, 200. Yeah.
And
it worked.
It was fun, and it worked as a release, and it made it a special release.
Yeah.
We kind of made it work. So.
And it wasn't a waste, I mean,
No,
there's so much time and energy goes into that by the time you're at the finish line.
Yeah.
It took CZ weeks.
Yeah. And there's always
lots
changes.
Of cigarettes, lots of Red Bull.
It is terrifying every time you open anything from a factory. It is.
Yeah.
Because who knows?
To this day. I almost don't like it. I almost don't like it because I am pretty picky, and it's like, oh, great.
Yeah, and you just never know what like little minor thing you're gonna realize that you didn't communicate with the factory about.
Yeah,
and it drives you bananas.
That's true, but that's not just toy production. I would say that's anything that you make and you don't produce from start to finish yourself and you hand over to somebody else. Like with the magazines, every time we send a magazine to print, it would be like, oh, that's great, and you'd get it back and you'd be like, oh my god, there's a typo, or oh my god, that's the wrong image, or whatever it is that you didn't notice after slaving on it. So it's not just toys.
Or what about when they fix what you asked for, but then there's other
It's so funny. I don't know if we can even tell that story about the gloves.
What gloves?
The Michael Jackson gloves.
Michael Jackson gloves?
There's a toy that we're working on right now where we asked them to fix something and they fixed the one thing, but then they redid all the hands so they look like they're wearing Michael Jackson leather gloves.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Do I know what you're on about?
Oh, but that's okay because they're fixing it.
No, I know, but they created a whole other issue where they decided to repaint the hands in a whole other way on this.
That's true. So we're making these figures, and we said, change it to be like this. But they painted the whole toy, but left the fingers transparent right at the tips. Nobody asked them to do it. They just created this whole weird Michael Jackson.
They must have made a mask to do it.
Yeah, because they were perfect.
They thought about it.
Right.
We were like, why did you? Nobody asked for that.
That's so aggravating.
Yeah, it is. Because it not only is it aggravating, it adds weeks to the schedule because they have to resample everything. So it's like this whole. I mean, we're just talking about.
But somewhere there's going to be these 10 figures that have strange gloves that are going to be, prized.
Danger Boss asking what's wrong with the Insta, the one with the hoodie. Nothing, I don't think. Right? That was a great, Dunny. Was there an issue with it?
Does anybody know?
I don't remember if there was an issue with it at the time. And also, what's the green snake, Dunny, Kyle? I'm not sure what you're talking about. But
is that a joke?
No. He's talking about.
People are just now listing bad Dunnies.
The paints stay tacking.
Where do we start?
Yeah.
Get the what I
It's a
remember
very
the word.
animated crowd. It was
yeah.
like they were ready to talk about castration.
They're
bad
talking about
dummies,
all
Yeah.
the problems
people
with
just
Kid Robot
on
toys.
it tonight.
Yeah.
I
We
want to
found
know
it.
about these pelicans, though. These 2 pelicans that you have in front of you are so dope. I think that they're my favorite pieces in the collection, or some of my favorite pieces in the collection.
These are
So
much
vibrant.
newer toys compared to all the ones that we've been talking about, right?
Yeah, those are a bit newer. Those are Kid Robot as well. Those are Frank Kozik's Kid Robot.
Yeah, the new Kid Robot.
The new Kid Robot. Those
Kid
were
Robot
early.
version
Yeah, those were soon after Frank started at Kid Robot.
Yeah, it's got to be
Yes.
18, 19, isn't it?
2. I love
2000?
the balance of these toys. They're
No, I
so
think
cool.
this was 16 or 17.
17,
2016 or 2017, I think.
Oh, it's already been that long.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, the
So-
way that they sit is fucking perfect.
Thanks.
So-
Yeah. Yeah.
Is the inspiration behind your toys always from your illustrations?
It used to be. Yeah. I
Do
used
all
to
the
just-
characters live in the same world? Are they interconnected? Do they have a story, or they're just
Yes. Yeah.
yes?
They do. Yes. It's a complicated story. It's actually one I'm writing now.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
Yeah, the past 4 years, 5 years, I started a graphic novel.
Oh wow!
Oh,
And all the characters make an appearance? Not all the characters, but
new characters.
Yeah, I mean the ones that don't still live in that world. So
is there going to be a trading card set
I
with
can't
that?
wait for that. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I can't wait either. Yeah, it's
How
long.
close is that to being finished?
Well, the story's all mapped out pretty much.
Okay, that's good.
Pretty much. And now it's just time to start. I've been waiting for this Disney project to finish so I can just sort of dig in to illustrating.
Well, that's a
So-
good segue
no,
into Disney.
No. I want to go
it's
back.
not.
I want
No,
more.
no.
I've got more
Not
drama.
yet. Not
More
yet.
drama.
All right, go
Let's do
on.
drama. Let's do drama. I like
So-
reliving.
He likes it. He
So
likes
then,
it.
well, no, I mean, this is interesting because we always
Yeah.
talk about how like it's it's a small community, and we try never to like air drama, but a lot of this stuff is
Well,
happened in the
what are you gonna talk
past.
about?
So
What are
it's
you gonna
like,
talk about?
it's to talk about some of it. You transitioned from working with
Weedy Weed
Weedy Wheat to Kid,
Kid
Robot
to
to
the loyal
subjects.
subjects. Ah, so
True, yeah.
still with Mr. Bunny, though this one is pink. This
We
is not
have-
Mr. Bunny.
Mhm.
Mr. Bunny's in the back.
Well, I was never exclusively working with anybody, but it just sort of worked out that way.
Yeah.
Right.
It was never like, now I have a contract with so and so. It was just sort of like a pretty fluid, organic way. And I met Jonathan Cathy at a lot of art shows.
Yeah.
We got along really well, and he made amazing toys. He's a great toy producer,
Mhm.
and he's made some great stuff. So we lived close by, so it was easy to sort of get together and work on projects in person and things like that. So
Yeah.
So
we
did he
did a
say,
run-on
let's
project.
make Mr. Bunny again? Did he say, let's do this figure? Or did you say, let's do this figure? Like, how did you come to the decision to redo this one, I guess?
That was everything was from me. He was always like, like, what do you want to do? It was always, what do you want to do? And
Yeah.
I mean, actually, usually never said no.
Yeah.
And I have to say, Adam Kennedy Damiano was there too, and he was a really important part of that team.
He was one of the original business partners.
The original business partner of Loyal Subjects. Yeah,
Right.
Yes.
yeah, great guy.
So this
And
was the Chaos Bunnies series, right?
that's the
more-
Chaos Bunny series. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was a new sculpt, different sculpt.
Hmm. Yes, we have to say that legally.
Legally, it's a different sculpt, different
It is-
figure,
I mean,
different
it is-
idea, whole new concept.
It is a different sculpt. It is a different
It is.
figure.
No, it is
It is-
completely
It's
different.
a hair.
Yeah.
It's not even a bunny now. It's a hair.
It's a hair.
Totally.
Chaos.
It's a Chaos hair series.
That's
Yes.
funny.
Yeah, we have a couple up on the wall there. We have a zombie.
The packaging on them
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
so great that we
Pirate.
didn't even take them out of the packaging. We just literally hung them on the wall. They're up in
Oh,
our
cool.
gallery.
Yeah.
So
So
I totally ripped that off from the Star Wars Jumbo figures.
Yeah.
We released the Jumbo. I just thought
That's-
those were so
yeah.
cool. you know.
That's how we keep our Gentle Giant Star Wars action figures in the package.
Chaos Bunnies.
You guys have those too? Those big?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot, and they take up so much space.
They do.
Yeah.
They're awesome, though.
We call it clutter.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking everywhere.
We do.
So I got a question then. So what draws you to the rabbit as a form? Because I know the rabbit is so ubiquitous throughout the entire, designer and toy culture. What is it for you about the rabbit that you enjoy?
It just clicked for me. It was when I started to do underground art shows. It was anytime the bunny was in an image or was in a painting, it just sold. It just sold all every time, which is very encouraging, right? So so that instantly became the obvious choice for my first toy, and then that was sort of like a big success. So that's kind of why, and then this sort of became just sort of my main character, I guess.
Gotcha.
So that's just sort of, and a bunny versus something else. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it wasn't really up to me, to be honest. Like it was just, it was, they were selling, and it was fun to draw, and it was easy to draw. I do a lot with him. Very sympathetic character, right? It's not like a violent, it's not like a fire cat.
Right.
And I would always, drop bombs on him or make him, in a dangerous position, to get sympathy or something like that. So yeah, that's sort of how it started.
Relatable.
Yeah. He's sort of like an everyman kind of vulnerable creature.
That's right.
Yeah. He is.
I think it's still loyal subjects, but I've got the whole collection of the slander snake. The slander snakes? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, slander. Yeah, that was play imaginative.
You could pop it open and it had the little ball in, man. And I was like, dude, this is a rad little toy.
Yeah, half digested critter.
Yeah, I've got them, yeah.
Do you know how many toys you've released? Do you have like a running number?
It depends on how you count them. I mean, do you count all the colorways? Do you count platform toys? Do you count?
What do you have a number of? Do you have, if I said I count everything, colorways and all, would you know?
The last time I counted I think it was over 200.
Wow.
I don't think it's a lot, but I mean, that's
a lot for a production
18
vinyl.
years still, but yeah.
I think that's a lot.
But that's counting the mini, like the red key, the green key, the blue key,
Yeah.
I mean, most artists don't have that big a run.
No. They
So,
don't sustain it for such a long time. I mean, just look at that picture of all the it's so cool.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's so cool.
If you want to read this is Clutter Magazine, issue 41. Joe's on the cover. And also Kyle's in this one in the chat. Kyle's interviews in this one too. It's a good issue.
I reread the interview in that article
And with some typos.
before this. And
The
so
photography, by the way, on the front page was pretty fun. I have to say.
Nervous Wreck just asked the question, did you ever reach a point where you felt like changing your style? And I know the answer because I just read the interview. And so the answer, Nervous Wreck, is no. Joe wants new figures to sit in a world with the figures made from 18 years ago. Is that still your thinking?
Yeah.
I mean, they do. If you look at this, I mean, you can put this toy next to this toy.
Ever have the sense that I want to go Divergent?
No.
And make something quick? No.
No, I just want to build on what I've made. Right? Why start over?
Yeah, it makes total sense. You made a world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the artists that find their groove and it all sticks together and looks like a body of art are usually the most successful. Those that try and I don't want to be pigeonholed.
There's a few ways to go. We could look at examples in the industry of scattershot that doesn't work, and we could look at scattershot where, not scattershot, but where there's swings and misses, but then home runs.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So it's just a choice.
Sure.
And then you've got someone like, Akamatsu has 3 completely different styles and has 3 companies and makes 3 completely different worlds
In
because he's three visions.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not talented enough to have 3 different styles or 2 different styles.
But what I love is that you're diversifying.
This is what I got.
Like, this is what I got, guys. This is what I can do.
This is what I got. I'm happy doing it. I feel like it's exciting. It continues to be exciting, you know, and it continues to be challenging. So,
Yeah.
you know,
This, I mean, for all the toys that
This
sit
is
on
a
the
weird
table,
one. This
this
is
is a weird one. Yeah, if we're going to talk about like ones that sit together,
that's
because
like-
it doesn't have the black line. So this is the Wonderwall Safubi kaiju creature that you created, and it's clearly your style. It just doesn't have the black lines. So
was
that's
missing the black lines. That was sort of an experiment. That was sort of me diverging a little bit, but it was also, I think, just a bit of like the limitations of Japanese sofubi.
yeah, that's
Sure.
airbrushed and not pad printed, right? So
And I didn't, and when I was making those, I didn't want to have. I wanted it to look like more like a traditional toy that I designed than like a more Western vinyl figure.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
So
yeah,
you-
those are fun, and that's sort of just the mashup between like a dragon I was drawing at the time a lot, and the Namagon character, that like the slug character that shoots like beams out of his eyes from Ultra Q, I think.
It's
I don't
great.
know that one.
So and
like
it's just
it.
interesting kaiju. I think that was sculpted by T9G.
Okay.
Okay.
I need to confirm that. Yeah, that was sort of lost in translation, but I think he sculpted that, which if he did is pretty cool.
It is. It makes sense though.
So I mean, so you have this major body of work. You've worked with so many companies. Do you feel like you have a ton more to say? Is that what the graphic novel's for?
Yes.
Feel like you have a lot more. Well, we know that you're putting out toys with Disney. That's a whole other world. Are you moving into more of a mainstream space?
No. My main goal right now is to like, I feel like the art and the toys just kind of, for my taste, they still sit a little bit empty without a story. And I've had the story for a while.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's grown and gotten a little bit more complicated, but and more interesting. So that's what's driving me right now, is like that's where I'm looking.
That makes sense. I think back in the day when we first started with all this, most artists had a story with their characters, and it became like a very narrative-driven world, and that did slip off a little bit. Like talking about Nathan's work, Scary Girls always had this big narrative that goes with
Always,
it.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
that's really exciting that you're going to finally tell the story.
Yeah, I mean, Ron has literally had like written books. Ron English has written books recently telling the story of his toys and put out trading card series, putting them all into a world, and then went and made a band to sing songs about the toys. So it's like, you know, how do you crest that next place? You know, I think that's what you're trying to do.
And I feel like it's going to make, and I feel like when I do that, it will give everything else much more value. All the work in the past, you know.
I feel like you're in a formative space. I feel like you're in like a formative space right now.
Yeah. What does that mean? What do you mean?
It means like
What are you going on about, Joe? What's that?
you're thinking. Like I can tell that you're thinking about like what you want to do next.
Oh yeah. Well, I've been trying to finish this thing for a while now, but I keep getting interrupted, and like it keeps getting put on the back burner. So it's a little bit like I'm ready to get back to work on this. So I'm trying to clear my plate.
So how did the collaboration with Disney come about? Tell us a little bit about that.
I had released a Batman toy with DC Collectibles.
Yes.
Who are no longer, that's been like dissolved, but and that did really well. But I did a release, an exclusive release of pink colorway with Toy Tokyo, and I came to New York Comic Con, and it was 2019, I think. And I was there at the booth, and it was Sunday, and it was like nobody was like, it was just, I was there for 3 hours. I think my signing was 3 hours, and like one person came, 2 people came. It was really boring, you know. It was one of those days.
Yeah, one of those days. Do your Comic Con would be like that?
Yeah. So, you know, you're just kind of like,
Mhm.
I try not to feel sorry for myself, but you know. And then this really smiley guy comes down the hall straight up to me, and he says, "Hey, are you Joe? You did this Batman, right? Do you think you could do that with Mickey?" And I said, "Yeah, probably. Why not?" He said, "Well, let me give you my card." And he worked at Disney Parks as the product manager for the toys at Disney Parks, or maybe a different position. But we started talking, and it didn't seem like it was going to work out because they weren't set up to work with like a freelance artist,
Right?
Like what we have now. So he said, "Well, you know, like maybe you can work with one of our licensors." And I said, "Well, you guys, the Super 7 has a Disney license. Maybe I can do it through them." So we started to make that work. The pandemic hit, everything sort of like got shelved for a while. And that was sort of the last of it until about a year and a half ago, when Disney reached out and they said, "Hey, we're all set up to work with you directly. So you want to give it a try?"
Oh, wow.
And then we just sort of went from there.
So are they Disney produced figures or are they self-produced figures?
They're Disney produced figures. They're produced by Disney Parks. And then they're exclusive to all the Disney owned and operated places. So they can only be O&O.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Was that like a bit of a dream project?
Yeah, it is. And they said, you know, "Hey, Marvel wants to talk to you," or Lucasfilm, you know, we talk to Lucasfilm guys all the time, and they want to talk to you. And do you want to work with them? And I was like, "No, like let's do more. I belong here, guys. Like I should be doing more of these characters, you know."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
No, it's great. They've been awesome to work with, and Dave Bondi, who designed my first toy, has designed a couple of these, or sculpted a couple of these, not designed but sculpted. And then their sculptor, one of their in-house sculptors, Damien Zuber, is amazing. He teaches at Art Center as well, and he sculpted the other ones. So it was great. It's been a year-long process, and it's been challenging. There were a lot of mistakes. There were a lot of, not mistakes, but we had to reset the designs a few times, but I think we finally got it. And I learned a lot from the people that work there. It's really, especially the creative people.
You learn technical things, or like what kind of?
Just technical things, just little things, like just little things about how to draw Mickey and Goofy that make a difference.
Right.
Ah, that's
And I don't think I can even share that stuff.
No, that's inside a trade secrets.
Yeah, I know, but it's just, you know, stuff like that, you know, fun little things that even I think might make me a better drawer, better illustrator. So
That's amazing.
I think every time I work with a real company like that, I do tend to learn a lot. I you know.
Yeah.
This is becoming like a through line here on this podcast. It's like
Every time.
the real companies
Teach you things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Nervous Wreck asked, who would be your dream collaboration, or who has been your favorite so far? Either or.
Oh God, I don't really have a dream. Like Disney would have been the one that, like, if you asked me when I was a kid, that would have been it.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to be a Disney animator until I was like a teenager. So.
Well, that would explain the fascination with animals and, you know, bunnies and cute figures.
And cartoony style, yeah.
If that's
I
really
mean,
like,
I was always drawing Nintendo game
influence.
characters, you know, and Disney characters. and Simpsons and stuff. So
Right.
that was
So
like
you're
my
gonna
no.
do Simpsons figures next.
No. No. If Disney wants to make more stuff, I would love to, but otherwise, I actually haven't really been searching for these opportunities. They've just sort of come to me. So
That's the
kind
best
of can't say
way.
no. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And yet again, that is an in-person. Some guys found you at Comic-Con, you know.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
another in-person event that you've just got this little nugget of cool. I'm good. Yeah. It's
And
great.
it was also like it was a bad day that turned into a great day.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There's
Yeah.
the positive again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not the only major artist that we've seen sit at your Comic-Con.
Yeah, it's true. It happens all the time.
Yeah, it's shocking.
I know.
It's shocking.
Depends what else is
It's
happening
sort
at
of
the
the state
time.
of our
That's the
world
thing.
too. It's like things are so fragmented. You know, people have so many choices about where they're going to go. You know, so
Yeah, there could be a million signings happening at the same
I think
time.
that
I feel like there's been there was a drop off about like 5 years ago where it just like I just couldn't count on a lot of people showing up anymore.
Right. I don't know what that shift was, but there was definitely a shift of people like going out and lining up and queuing up, and still different now.
yeah,
Still collectors there, they're just not the same. Maybe we all grew older and that's what it was. Need to find a new wave that'll stand in the streets. They just want to be on their phone.
I mean, I don't want to go out anywhere.
Right.
I'm with you.
Exactly. So are you going to be at Decon?
Yeah. I have a booth at Decon, so first trip
Awesome.
back, and
That's great.
yeah. So I'll be displaying the Disney pieces. The Disney pieces will have already been released the week before, the 13th at close by at downtown Disney at the Wonderground Gallery.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's the Sunday before Designer Con.
Okay.
Cool.
So that'll be hopefully a big event, and yeah.
So what do you have new for DesignerCon this year?
I have a road trip figure that I've been customizing, which is sort of my latest self-produced or produced with Big Shot Toyworks resin figure, and then I have another Wolfgang figure I've made recently that I've been customizing too. So I've got some custom figures. I'll show you one.
Yeah.
This is the yellow version.
Oh,
Whoa.
yeah.
that's nuts.
So, and then this one won't be available because this is like I think I fucked these up. So there won't be any yellow ones. This is the first batch I messed up. Like this one doesn't come apart. It's stuck because I didn't mask off the parts that stick together. I was going too fast. So,
But now it's
all different colors and stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's a sculpture.
Now it's a sculpture, and I can't really transport it because it's
break.
this,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So it lives in your home.
In my living room. So
Do you prefer working with resin or vinyl?
I don't really have a preference. I like resin.
Yeah.
I'd probably prefer resin now.
At some point, I heard you say something about environmentally friendly toys. Is that something that you're still thinking about?
Yeah, I think about it all the time. I want to make toys here. I want to make toys out of recycled plastic or wood.
Yeah.
And I want them to be really cool, you know?
Yeah.
And, but you know, that's a lot of wants.
that is difficult, but it's not impossible.
No, and you know, I feel like I should put forth the effort to try to figure out if this is possible. Some people do it. I mean, there's a company in San Francisco that makes kids' toys out of recycled milk cartons. So, you know.
Yeah, give it a go.
That might have a real impact on the design. I would assume.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it will. I'm sure there'll be different kinds of toys. You know, it won't be the same thing, but yeah, I feel a bit guilty making plastic stuff right now. You know?
When the world's on fire.
When the world's on fire, you know, apocalypse is looming and the ocean is full of plastic.
Yeah.
You know, here I am making more plastic things.
Well,
I don't think plastic's going away.
No, but the
No,
flip
I know
side
it's
is
not.
it's
We're not making
making
disposable things per
disposable
se.
plastic. Yeah.
Yeah, but they'll be
But it's-
disposable in 20 years when
Yeah.
someone doesn't know what it is and throws it away, right?
It's still something to think about.
It's
It
dark,
is.
man. That's dark.
We went dark.
Well, it's real.
It's true.
I mean, I think everyone should think about that a little bit, right? I mean,
Yeah.
doesn't it cross your mind a little bit?
Yes.
When we're throwing away resin at our studio,
Offcasts. Yeah, when things don't work.
Never.
Yeah,
I
the
never think about
offcasts are what does it.
Rubber,
Absolutely.
or, going through gloves,
Yeah, rubber gloves.
changing gloves all day.
Yeah.
It crosses my mind. But
I mean, I feel like it's like, I don't think that like designer toys is making a huge environmental impact, but I think, I don't want to be lumped in with people that are,
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Should we do Toy Tank in a minute?
I think we should do
It's
Toy
that
Tank.
kind of time, and I see
Cool.
them in the bottom lurking.
Yeah.
Not single use, the plastic is finite. So we're using the resources and forcing alternative material research to happen. This is true.
Thanks,
There's
Kyle.
people making things out of like mushrooms. Like you can like put like mushroom cultures into a mold and then let it grow, and then it'll fill the mold.
Oh.
People are
Yeah.
experimenting with all kinds of stuff. I don't know how great of a toy that would be, but like people are experimenting with like building materials and stuff.
Right. I mean, concrete's always cool. I do raise.
Tell us what else is on your mind, Joe.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
Oh, come on. What's really important?
That's really important.
I know.
Yeah.
You tried making. I'm talking to Kyle.
Oh.
You tried making mushroom toys. Kyle?
Concrete.
Oh yeah, concrete toys didn't work. They shattered.
They look cool, but they're difficult.
They crumbled.
Yeah,
He needs to reformulate. Go reformulate, Kyle. Go make a TikTok about that, Kyle. Kyle. Sorry. All right. Let's do the toy tank.
Let's do toy tank. Then we're gonna come back to you, Joe. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, don't go anywhere.
You're joining the panel.
Awesome. Well, okay. Fucking toy tank today. We got something really cool. Wait, do I do the jingle before or after I give the spiel? I can't fucking remember right now.
You give the spiel, and then we do the graphic, and you sing.
Yeah.
First do the spiel, then graphic and sing.
All right, yeah. So we got this. We got something really interesting for you tonight. We got Mr. Yuck Trading Co. If you like bootleg toys, I love bootleg toys, so I'm really excited about this one. So we got a bootleg action figure artist on deck. And so let me
just like sing the song.
yeah, sing the song, All right, Toy Tank, take me to the toy tank and show me your fucking toys. All right, right here. Word.
This is awesome.
How do we address you, our Lord?
First off, can you hear me okay?
We can.
Yeah.
So great.
Okay, good. My translator's working. That's good. I was afraid it wasn't going to operate properly.
Are you the toy?
I'm sorry?
Are you the toy?
Are you the toy?
Technically, I am going to have a toy made of me in the future.
Yeah,
That's
word.
Cool.
Are you an insect?
I am based off of insects, yes.
What do we call you?
How do we address you?
My name is Asparius. I'm a member of the Wormhole Warriors.
Is this awesome? The comments are great. Everyone's saying that this is the best day ever, and fucking yes, and this is great.
Asparius, what do you need? What do you need from us? What do you want from us? What will happen to us if we don't comply?
I don't need anything from you. I'm not here to conquer you or anything.
Is it like a wormhole, like bending space and time, or like a hole in the ground?
I guess you could say it's more like a hole in the ground. It's how I transport myself between worlds. So
right. Gotcha.
This is great. Awesome.
Can you make mushroom toys on your planet?
Do I make mushroom toys on my planet?
Yeah. We were just talking about mushroom toys.
I don't think
Making
so.
toys from
I
mushrooms.
don't think I even have mushrooms on my planet.
Oh,
word.
Whoa. Wow.
wow.
Well, let's see the toy that you've created.
Well,
It's fairy.
this one might be a little confusing. It makes me kind of angry because my arch nemesis got an action figure before me.
What the fuck?
I don't know why, but
That's what happens. Wow.
Whoa.
Who's that?
Is
so
that
this is my arch nemesis, Lord Morbus.
he's awesome?
Why is he your arch nemesis?
Screw you, Lord Morbus.
Yeah.
Is he
See, that's what I'm
transparent?
We're on
saying.
Aquarius's team,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
right? I'm catching what you're putting down. So, is that Glyos compatible?
No, it's not, but it does have a peg system.
That's
So
good.
if you do get other Lord Morbus figures, you can swap bits and pieces if you want.
That's cool. Tell us about Lord Morbius.
Do you want
Who
people
is he?
to own Lord Morbus? Right.
I mean, yeah, if they want to, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or are we against Lord Morbus?
No, they can control him.
Oh, if you
Listen,
buy him, then you can control him.
Listen, I know he's a villain. He's my arch nemesis, but I don't control this planet. If you guys are into him, that's totally cool.
An effigy for us to dismantle.
Yeah, I suppose so. Sure, yeah.
Yeah, word. All right, nice.
That's awesome. So
Cool.
when is this going to be available?
These figures are actually going on sale tomorrow in my shop.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
fantastic.
Nice.
Look at that packaging. That's amazing. Did you make
Yes,
that packaging?
I did design it with illustration help by Chris Facone.
Wow. That's so cool. I love it.
Is that
Oh, that's so
produced in this country?
These were actually produced in Mexico through a friend of mine named Ian Creative on Instagram.
Nice.
Whoa. That's
Excellent.
really nice packaging. I think we're all going to go on Instagram later and start
Your
DMing
friend
I Am
up,
Creative.
Excellent packaging.
Really
Sarah
nice.
Booth says it is excellent packaging.
Excellent.
So this is what colorway? What is this colorway called?
Well, I guess in your language, this would be red.
Yeah, that's so good.
Straightforward.
Yes.
But
Yes.
to be honest, they're kind of mixed parts right now, so not all of them are going to be red. There's some more pink, more different marbled hues in there.
I love it.
Do you trade in the type of currency that is kind of standard here, or
Yeah,
are you?
yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah.
That's
Yep.
great.
Are you
Oh,
bringing in some sort of like insecto coin?
No, not yet. That would be way too confusing for you guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
it would.
That would be above our pay grade.
That's true. So how much are these figures going to be?
These are going to be $20.
That's awesome. Are they limited edition?
Right now, this run is 30 pieces.
Wow, you got to
Whoa.
get in there fast then if you want to get one of these. What's the link to your website? Where can they
So
find these?
my shop is yucktradingco.bigcartel.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you throw that in the chat and pin it, producer,
sure.
please? Thank you.
So then all the pieces are going to be unique. Then they're all different.
Our producer's doing it, Aspherius. Don't worry. We got you.
Okay.
We
All right.
got it. We have an overlord that you can't see.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
He's
And we don't want to
overlord.
fuck around.
He's not friends with this guy, right?
He
He might be.
He
I've
might,
heard
yeah.
I've heard some shit.
No, he's saying he's not friends with that guy. I think we're safe.
Oh.
We're safe.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Oh, yeah. All
No
right.
problem.
I mean,
Good.
we don't know what he does when he leaves here.
Uh,
Yeah.
mhm.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Now it's pinned in the chat over here, so people can have a direct link to your store.
Everyone on Instagram, you're missing the show.
You really are.
Yeah.
Come on YouTube.
So then, how long have you been making toys for?
I've been making toys. Oh goodness. Probably at least over 7 years. Probably closer to 10.
Oh, nice.
Is that in your years or human years?
Human years.
Human
Sorry.
years. How many years is that in Aspherius years?
Probably closer to like Gosh, 37.
37. And what do you, in your language, what do you call a year? Or how do you measure time?
Well, listen, I'm no scientist. I don't want to rack your brains with this kind of information.
I appreciate that. I'm just here to ask the questions.
Do you make all these toys yourself?
I design them all, yes.
That's awesome.
Nice. And you have like a home studio or what's your process?
Dude, you can't ask him that kind of shit, man. Dude, respect Asparius, man.
Well, listen. I can, if you want. Do you want to talk to Asparius or do you want to talk to Mr. Yuck?
I don't know. I
It's
like
really
Asparius.
good.
I like Asparius.
You're gonna have to do some kind of transformation if we're gonna talk to Mr. Yuck.
Yeah, I could just take my helmet off.
Oh yeah.
Don't ruin it.
No, please don't.
You're gonna go out of
Great.
shot.
This is great.
Okay,
Oh my
no
God.
problem.
No,
I love your shirt though too. I love how your body. Yeah, that's great.
Let's not kill the magic on this one.
Your body.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh my goodness. Nice. So then, have you always been working with bootleg? Has that been your main thing?
I used to cast a lot of resin figures, and man, it was extremely stressful and very expensive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And probably, bad for your world's environment.
I mean, yeah, definitely.
What do you think of disposable plastics?
Like straws.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, they're fine as long as you don't throw it into the ocean.
Yeah.
Jerk.
On your world, do you castrate lesser animals?
Just to bring it back full
We
circle.
don't castrate anything.
No. Have you hung out with the suckload?
No, actually, I haven't.
We should arrange
make that
this.
happen.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have like a villain face-off
Ooh.
episode. I think that would be cool.
Or he's a big Morbius fan.
I think he might be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to ruin the magic on this one. I don't think any of us have anything to say other than we need to buy these toys.
Do you have any questions for our panel?
Are those real arcade cabinets behind you?
They're 3/4 fit in your house ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are cool. I like those.
We have small houses in the UK, so
Would they fit on a spaceship?
They would fit really well on a spaceship.
Okay.
Yeah, really well. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
And then, Joe, let's bring you into the conversation as well. Like, do you have any advice for Yuck moving forward?
What's your advice for this alien life form?
I mean, I want to comment on your face. You're amazing. Your face is incredible. Your eyes, you have beautiful eyes. You're so handsome. I have to say that whatever creature made you did a great job.
Well, stop it. You're making me blush.
It's true. That's true.
You are getting a little bit more red.
Well, thank
I
you.
should say.
Thank you so much for gracing us with your pleasure.
With your pleasure.
Great skills with your
Fucking
pleasure.
rubbing your pleasure all over Miranda tonight.
Oh, we've got a chat room.
Happy.
Is
You made
Your
Miranda
pleasure.
really happy.
Are there any other figures?
Are
Or just
there
the
any
one?
other figures?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what would you like to see?
I'd
Show
like
us a
to
little bit
see.
more.
Yeah,
I want to
more.
see the hero.
I
The
think
hero.
Dame's drunk.
Would you like to see a cat with a pompadour?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, there's one hell of a pompadour.
Whoa.
That's amazing. Oh
That's
my
a
gosh.
pompadour?
Yes, it's
Or proboscis.
Yes. No. So it's a pompadour. This is Greaser Nico, sculpted by Beth Graves down in Kentucky.
Very cool.
That's
This
great.
is
Are these also available?
yes, it is. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, show us more. This is awesome.
Yeah. So this is the packaging for it.
Oh.
Awesome.
That's
Nice.
I
I
love
love
that
the stray
illustration.
cats, so this is
This is Japanese vinyl, by the way. It was produced by Kato Kato.
Oh, very cool.
Awesome.
So you don't just make bootleg figures.
Do you guys like Godzilla by any chance?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We're big fans.
Do you like stickers and pins?
Yes.
Yeah.
Check
What'd you
that
buy?
out.
Oh,
That's such a cute Godzilla.
yeah.
He has one of my favorite tiki mugs in his hands, Tiki Bob.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yes, we do have cocktails in space.
Mm,
Excellent.
that's good because I don't know how you'd survive without them in space.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite necessary.
Favorite cocktail in space?
Mai Tai.
Nice. That's a complicated drink.
It is,
So
yes.
if you're gonna do it correctly, you can make a bullshit Mai Tai, but like, there's some strange ingredients in a Mai Tai.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just no orange juice. Never put orange juice in a Mai Tai.
Isn't it like almond something?
In a Mai Tai?
Yeah, yeah. I'll look it up.
Sarah will know.
Sarah,
will know. And tell you no. Until you know. Well, thank you for sharing all of your amazing toys with us. Everybody should go check out the release tomorrow
Yeah.
and pick one up.
Yes.
It's starred in the chat.
Nice.
There it is.
Yeah. Great
Lord
packaging.
Morbius.
Great.
It's so good.
packaging.
Everything's great about it.
Orgeat syrup.
I like the foil.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
beautiful.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so good. Harrison, quick on the on the Mai Tai ingredients
Yeah,
there. So
there you go.
sidebar right there. If you guys are looking to
It's not Harrison, it's the evil overlord. Come on.
Yeah.
the evil overlord back here, yeah, totally.
Willis
Lord
the
Morvis
Overlord.
running the show.
Well, thank you for joining us. We'd love to have you back at some time, and we'll get you on with Suckler because I think that would be a really fun show.
That would be
Totally.
amazing. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, everybody, thank you, Trading Co., for coming and showing us his figures. Thank you so much.
Right on.
That's great.
So before we all say goodnight, I wanted to talk to Joe about the fact that CZ is covered in Joe Ledbetter tattoos. Did you know this?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah.
Yeah. He showed me at DesignerCon. I don't know, 6 years ago.
Last Pasadena one it was. Yeah.
Last Pasadena, yeah.
Pasadena.
Can we
Nice.
see?
2017.
I
Yeah,
love
I haven't seen them.
Pasadena. Show us, CZ. Show us your
this
arm.
one
Tell you
sleeve.
something. So the
They're
first
on your
one, I
leg,
got,
right?
the first one I got on my leg was the Mummy Bunny,
Mm-hmm.
and it's quite a personal story, but I really liked the Mummy Bunny design. So it's wrapped all around my leg. So I actually redrew it all because I didn't trust the tattooist to get it right. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I've redrawn all this shit. So it wrapped all the way around. So yeah, that's basically. So it's around addictions. You know what I mean? So that's my addict on my leg, and he's bound to my leg. So that was how I used the imagery for that one. And then on my arm, yeah, I've got a whole.
Oh,
it goes
yeah.
like up, do you know what I mean? I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
So really, yeah, we got the slander.
Oh, that's great.
You know, snake tattoos are you shed your skin, so it's a different life. That's the sort of meaning behind snake tattoos. I've got a really aching shoulder, but I've got two little bunnies there. They're my kids, like riding on the snake. Do you know what I mean?
Nice.
Cool. And then we just got this pig dude because he's rad, like. And then and then you can't really see, but like, yeah, there's some other imagery up here, and we've got cupcakes and pizza, and that's because I'm diabetic, and
That tells the whole story.
like in the middle, I've got this like guru figure, which is me, like trying to not have pizza and cupcakes and pigs with balloons. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So there you go. So yeah, I'm obviously a big fan. You know what I mean? I've got so many of your toys and always love your sort of illustrations. I managed to get the Mummy Bunny print. I've got the Mummy Bunny print downstairs, so that was quite a rare one.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Just got tons of your toys, and yeah, I just love your artwork, man. Honestly, it's got
Thank
me
you,
through some really dark times in my life. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome to hear. I mean, I actually hear that a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, there's a lot. There is lots of Ledbetter tattoos out there. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody they let me know that they were in Iraq fighting, and they had their toys on their, like, on the hood or on their dashboard of their car, and it just made them think about coming home and
home and stuff. Yeah.
kinds of stuff like that too.
That's amazing.
Very cool. Thants for showing me, man. That's cool.
Yeah, no,
That's so
I get
good.
a leg up, but I'm like old and that. Can't even.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
before
I just want to say, and also while we're at it too, like I never really collected many designer toys, but when I did, like, collected early in the early 2000s, and yours was one of the ones that I got. Though I didn't know who the artists were at the time. I just bought stuff that, like, looked cool. And so thank you so much. Excuse me?
That's the best way to buy.
Yeah, totally.
Like.
And then I ran out of money and I had to sell everything. But for a moment in my life, that was prominently displayed on my shelf. So it's nice to finally meet you, and thank you for being such an influence.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
That's really cool, guys. This was really fun.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. So what would you, back to the advice conversation, what would be your advice for anybody that's coming into the design toy world now? What would you give your top tip?
Give up, you'll never make it.
There you go.
All right,
I don't mean that. I would never tell somebody that. I would never. But I agree with it. I do agree.
Yeah.
With it,
Yeah. Well, check out Joe's booth at DesignerCon, which is coming up real soon, like in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. 2413 is the number.
There you go. Pick up issue 41 because it's got his stuff in it. Buy his toys. Check him out online. We'll be back next week with, I think, Gary from the Toy Chronicles next week. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. So that'll be fun. We'll just talk about British snacks.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
For an hour. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Thanks for all the comments. That was really fun. That was really interactive too. It was great.
Yeah, it's great talking to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe. We really appreciate it.
Thank
come
you,
back next week. Yes. Thank you, Yuck Trading Co. That was awesome. So much fun.
So good.
All right, we'll catch you all next week. Have a good weekend, everybody.
All right.